Hello everyone, this is Dr. Deepa. Today we learn about the axillary nerve. As the name itself says, axillary nerve is the nerve of the axilla in the upper limb. We study the axillary nerve under the following headings: the root valve and the formation of the axillary nerve, its course, branches and distribution, and lastly winding up with the applied anatomy. To begin with, the formation and the root of the axillary nerve. This axillary nerve has the root value C5 and C6. The root value of this axillary nerve is C5 and C6. Regarding the formation of the axillary nerve is formed as the branch of the posterior cord of the brachial plexus. The axillary nerve is the branch coming out from the posterior cord of the brachial plexus. Once the nerve arises from this posterior cord, the nerve is seen descending down to enter the axilla. So this is about the formation and the root value of the axillary nerve. Regarding the course of the axillary nerve, once the axillary nerve enters the axilla from the posterior cord of the brachial plexus, the nerve enters the axilla descending down. Yes, once it enters the axilla, the nerve is related posterior to the artery, that is the axillary artery. Yes, in the axilla, the nerve is related posterior to the axillary artery along with the radial nerve. The radial nerve and the axillary nerve make up the direct posterior relation of the axillary artery in the axilla. In the axilla, the nerve is seen leaving the axilla by passing through the quadrangular space. Yes, quadrangular space is one of the intramuscular spaces around the scapula. So, this quadrangular space contains the axillary nerve. So, the axillary nerve leaves the axilla by passing through the quadrangular space of the scapula. So, in the quadrangular space, once the nerve enters the quadrangular space, it is accompanied by, yes, it is accompanied by the posterior circumflex humeral artery. The nerve in the quadrangular space is accompanied by the posterior circumflex humeral artery, which is the branch of the third part of the axillary artery and takes part in winding around the surgical neck of the humerus. So this is about the course of the axillary nerve. I repeat, so once the nerve is seen arising from the posterior cord of the brachial plexus, the nerve descends down to reach the axilla. In the axilla, the nerve is directly related posterior to the artery, that is the axillary artery. Behind the axillary artery, this axillary nerve is accompanied by the radial nerve. The nerve leaves the axillary artery by entering the quadrangular space of the scapula, which is very neatly seen over here. So this is the axillary nerve, which is making up the content of the quadrangular space. So in the quadrangular space, the axillary nerve is accompanied by an artery, that is the posterior circumflex humeral artery. So this nerve along with the posterior circumflex humeral vessels is seen to lie in the quadrangular space. The axillary nerve in the quadrangular space ends by or terminates by dividing into its two terminal branches, that is the anterior division and the posterior division. Anterior division and the posterior division. So in the quadrangular space, the axillary nerve terminates into the axillary nerve in the quadrangular space terminates into its two terminal branches, that is the anterior branch and the posterior branch, anterior and the posterior branch. So this is about the course of the axillary nerve. Next, moving on to the branches of the axillary nerve, the branches and this distribution, as I have already told you. So we see axillary nerve in the axilla and in the quadrangular space. In the axilla, yes, in the axilla, the axillary nerve gives one branch, that is the articular branch to the shoulder joint. Yes, in the axilla, before its terminal division, the axillary nerve gives one articular branch to the shoulder joint. So once the articular branch arises from the axillary nerve in the axilla, the nerve enters the quadrangular space to divide into its anterior division and the posterior division. So here we can make out the nerve dividing into the anterior division, thick anterior division here, and the small posterior division. Yes, so this is the anterior division and here is the posterior division. So the anterior division is the larger division of the axillary nerve, which is seen to wind around the surgical neck of the humerus, where it gives two branches. Yes, the anterior division of the axillary nerve. The anterior division of the axillary nerve gives two branches. One branch to the deltoid muscle. Yes, and the branch to the deltoid is coming from the anterior division of this axillary nerve. So it gives one branch supplying the deltoid muscle. The second branch is a small cutaneous branch which supplies the skin over it. Skin covering the deltoid muscle. So this is about the fate of the anterior branch or the anterior division of the axillary nerve. Regarding the posterior division, here we can make out a small posterior division here. The posterior division or the posterior branch of this axillary nerve, once it is arising in the quadrangular space, it gives the posterior division gives the muscular branch to the muscle, that is teres minor. Yes, the nerve to teres minor is nothing but the branch from the posterior division of the axillary nerve. The nerve to teres minor, after supplying the respective muscle, ends by forming the pseudoganglion. Yes, this is very important over here. The nerve to teres minor, after supplying the muscle teres minor, ends by forming the pseudoganglion. So this is the fate of the nerve of teres minor. Other than the muscular branch to the teres minor, the posterior branch itself continues down by piercing the deep fascia as the cutaneous branch, that is upper lateral cutaneous branch. Upper lateral cutaneous branch supplying the skin over the lower part of the arm. So this is about the fate of the posterior division or the posterior branch of the axillary nerve. So I repeat the fate of the two divisions of the axillary nerve. The anterior division of the axillary nerve. Before that, yes, the axillary nerve is seen dividing into its two terminal branches, that is the anterior division and the posterior division. The larger one is the anterior division. This anterior division, once it arises, it gives two branches, that is the deltoid branch supplying the deltoid muscle and a small cutaneous branch to supply the skin over it. The posterior branch gives again two branches, that is nerve to teres minor, which later forms the pseudoganglion. The same posterior division itself continues as the upper lateral cutaneous branch of the arm to supply the skin of the lower part of the area over there. The anterior division ends by winding around the surgical neck of the humerus, supplying the joint and the muscle over it. So this is about the branches of the axillary nerve. So this is the diagrammatic view of the axillary nerve seen in the quadrangular space. Yes, I have already discussed the course and the distribution of the axillary nerve in the quadrangular space. This axillary nerve is accompanied by an artery which I have already mentioned, that is posterior circumflex humeral artery. The axillary nerve winds around the surgical neck. It is actually the anterior branch of the axillary nerve which is accompanying the artery, whereas the posterior branch, as we can see here, supplies the teres minor with formation of the pseudoganglion. So this is again the cross-sectional diagram showing the fate of the axillary nerve. As I have mentioned previously, the axillary nerve divides into its anterior division and the posterior division. Anterior division is seen running along with the posterior circumflex humeral artery and ends by winding around the surgical neck of the humerus. So this is the surgical neck of the humerus. Posterior division here, it supplies the muscle that is teres minor and ends by forming the pseudoganglion over here. Yes, this nerve to teres minor ends by forming the pseudoganglion. Other than the formation of pseudoganglion, this posterior division continues as the upper lateral cutaneous nerve of arm. So this is about the fate of the posterior branch or the posterior division of the axillary nerve. So this is about the axillary nerve. To wind up, we have studied the axillary nerve under the headings, that is the root value and the formation of the axillary nerve, the course of the axillary nerve in the axilla and in the quadrangular space. We have studied about the branches and the distribution of the axillary nerve. The branches, that is the direct branch from the axillary nerve which is given to the shoulder joint, and the fate of the two branches, that is the fate of the two divisions of the axillary nerve, the anterior and the posterior division. At lastly, to wind up, we need to know about the clinical aspect of the axillary nerve. This axillary nerve is very important clinically, as the injury to the axillary nerve may lead to the inability to abduct the arm with loss of sensation over the lower part of the deltoid. The injury to the axillary nerve may be seen in cases of fractures of the surgical neck of the humerus, leading to the loss of abduction of the arm and the sensory loss over the lower part of the deltoid muscle. So this is about the axillary nerve as a whole. Thank you.